Okay. Got one high aluminum tile somewhere. Good clump over there. Good clump here. Lots of aluminum spread throughout. A lot of different resources. Don't know if we need to rush to get founded anywhere this game. Although this particular plot is looking quite interesting and usable to me. I might go first on this if I think it'll be reasonable to take. Thing is, there are a lot of other good places to be, so I don't need to worry about it too much if I don't grab it up. One important little bit to it is that it's the closest to this silicon triangle. There's not a lot of silicon on the map. Plenty of geotherm available, it looks like. Not a huge amount, but enough to be usable. A lot of water here. You could potentially drop expansive in here and get something serious done. Just bring in the aluminum and iron from here and here. Set up a lot of tiles right in here. You'd be good to go. You could also just kind of drop over here next to the aluminum, but I don't really like that too much because you're up against the edge of the map. Alright, somebody else founded. Is anybody else interested anytime soon? No, we'll just wait on the debt. It'll only take like 4 more seconds, so it's not that big a deal. Go ahead and take this spot right here. Steel, steel, steel. Sell steel down. Grab the aluminum that we need. Alright, there we go. We'll just push to those upgrades as rapidly as we can. We'll try and secure this silicon at least. And then maybe push in just a couple water pumps right here to really take advantage of that price. Another option is just getting some aluminum down as soon as we upgrade. I was hoping to get this aluminum tile, but unfortunately I was unable to due to this expansive player going ahead and taking it. We could just grab the 2 tiles next to him. Call that good. It's a lot of tiles committed to aluminum, but I don't really want to completely skip out on that resource unless I absolutely have to. Oh man. No high aluminum to take as a single tile. I'm tempted this upgrade just to go ahead, hit the button. Aluminum, aluminum, and then this silicon here. Hopefully other people will avoid my water. There's better water elsewhere, but we can't be absolutely certain of that. But we do want this silicon in particular. With these potential for adjacency bonuses at this triangle and nowhere else on the map, that silicon's potentially very valuable. Let's go ahead and grab up what glass we require. These guys, selling down steel helps them, but on the other hand, the scavenger player is the one with the lead right now, so I'm not too worried about helping out the expansive players just a bit at the moment, because I'm more worried about this guy. He's got a lot of carbon ready to go. He's got decent aluminum coming in. He's got some silicon established for himself already, and so I'm a bit more concerned about this guy than anybody else. Probably going to go pretty hard on this. I've got a definite tile in mind for it, which is this medium water. If I take that up, it's highly unlikely anybody will contest me for this patch of water. Go ahead and push this up to 32. Usually people let it go for 32. A lot of people don't want to go to 36. I'm fairly comfortable with that just because we didn't take any debt in our found. And of course, this is post beta 3 patch, so we can go ahead and take on a significantly greater amount of debt. Alright, steel coming out for our expansive player Asimov. Clark has expanded but has not thrown down any additional tiles yet, which is a bit of a concern. We're going to grab that new claim because it's only 2,000. So now we're up 2 claims compared to what we should be at HQ level 2. Should be, quote unquote. But I think that puts us in a really nice position. We're going to get potentially the better water prices. We've got the ones pulling in water first. We could easily kind of get into solar panels with our silicon if we really want to. We can move into farms very easily, potentially. We can move into glass production fairly easily. All of these things are options to us, but for now, we're just kind of playing that waiting game. We're well set up. We've got the resources we really want. This scavenger should easily beat us to HQ level 3. But we got a cheap new claim purchased, and that was the level of new claim that I'm okay grabbing, especially because I had this water I was getting with it, and I knew I would be able to make some money. So let's go ahead and upgrade. I'm going to get glass established at this point, I think. Go ahead and get into glass, and then get into food on these water tiles. As we can see, food's dropping rapidly with everything we're doing. And then we do need to worry about power at some point. We'll probably trade our steel out for power before too terribly long. We can potentially afford a black market purchase here, so I'm going to grab a goon squad. And now we're seriously looking at just establishing all of this production. Kind of want to finish up getting the farms down before I move into that last glass furnace in particular. So let's go ahead and get one of those established. How is everybody else doing? The scavenger also hit HQ level 3, I think behind us, which really shouldn't have happened with all the purchases we've been doing, but our water really carried us through quite effectively in that early section. As we can see, steel and aluminum both kind of tanking fairly quickly. Let's get... I thought we had enough, but we didn't after the oxygen send. That's what happened. Let's go ahead and just send the glass that's in here. That'll let us easily get down these farms. It won't be an issue. Scrap out. There we go. Glass. Farm. Alright, he's going into reactors. That's totally fine. Reactors should also be quite profitable right now. Not as good as farms, but fairly close. Asimov also moving into reactors, so that's just fine. And another claim has popped up. Now, I have to worry about power very soon. I don't think I'm going for geotherms. I think I'm going to focus on that silicon, especially because buying up silicon will kind of help keep other people out of my glass territory, because they'll have to pay for the silicon and I won't, because I'm scientific and deal with it. So that's basically the thought process there. Let's go ahead and just bid on that again. Okay, we can go ahead and get into another glass furnace. That's fine. Let's do that. And then we're close. Go ahead and bid that up to 20. We might not take this because we've got a lot of debt at this point. It's a tolerable amount, but we'd be pushing it if we took another one without having a really good reason. Clark can have it. Clark's back on HQ level 2, so I think that's okay. And let's go ahead and... I know nighttime is here, but I think it's still time to go ahead and start making this transition. So we'll just scrap. Get some solar panels down. They're not great solar panels because, well, you just don't get great solar panels. Apparently, when you found down on a low amount, on a low terrain tile. You know, that's just the way it is. It's not a big deal. But we'll go with it. Oh, Saberman and SMG showed up at some point. I've been a bit focused on this one, which unfortunately is probably going to happen a lot today, purely because I haven't played a whole lot lately. I'm going to get down one more farm. Should be just fine with this claim that I just purchased. And let's see. Well, these guys hopefully will fight each other in order to make money, and I'll just be looking at pulling in some income off this glass and pushing to HQ level 4. I'm going to have to start thinking about an end game. What is the end goal going to be here? Offworld's looking acceptable. Oxygen is fine. Oxygen production is going to be an option here. We could potentially try to move into some heavy glass production with engineering labs and the like. Don't know if that's absolutely necessary. Patent lab could be useful, but not necessarily necessary, as it were. Paying off a decent amount of debt off these solar panels, despite the fact that they're kind of garbage. Not even as good as a geotherm with all those adjacency bonuses. That's how bad these are right now. Alright, everybody's fighting each other. Let's go ahead, sell down glass, blow that up for fun, and upgrade. We'll get into steel at some point. Don't feel the need to do it yet. I'm just going to drop an engineering lab in the hopes that I'll be able to make good use of that. And then I'm thinking of going into some chem labs over here. There are good reasons not to put them over here, but I don't know if they're good enough. It means that I won't ever need carbon scrubbing this game, which is kind of nice. And I can shift into carbon later if I need to. I think I'm going to go ahead and do it. We'll move into those. We'll make it work. Man, that guy's trying to get into my glass production. That is just rude. Anybody trying to get in my food yet? No, not really. Food's still going quite nicely for us. Oh, he actually scrapped out of his carbon for a while. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. Let's go ahead and upgrade some food production for the time being. We'll take pirates. Pirates would be wonderful. Come on, give me the pirates. Seriously, 5,000? Nope, not going to be 5,000 for the pirates. I don't even know what's going on in my chat right now. Oh, I won the auction for 8,000. I will take that. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Screw with us, and we screw with you.
Oh, man. All right, we're sitting on 54,000. We could just upgrade one more time, but I'm not sure I want to because that costs an awful lot of steel. I'm going to grab up a power surge so I've got it for later because I don't see any need for black market immediately. Man, a little more power is super tempting, though. If I upgraded, I could shift back into steel mills here and then maybe just throw down power, on top of the water here? Not instead of the glass. The glass is still good. And not instead of the food, because the food is still good. But I want more power production. I'm almost tempted to upgrade just so I can get to superconductor and run away with power with that. I could just put it next to my current power and then transition into steel later. That's an option. This drives steel sky high, though, if I do this. And these guys are still making steel, so I don't know if I need to make that commitment right away. Instead, I'll just sell down glass. We can see silicon's going up because of Herbert, and he's not making a lot of money now off this glass. Whoa! Steel just had a huge sell down, so I'll take the upgrade right then. When that happened, I'll go ahead and just throw down some solar panels here. Let's upgrade food again. Let's get into a patent lab, because I think I can make decent use of that. Let's grab an EMP. Oh, we just committed hard into power, man. I don't know if this is acceptable. Like, all you guys are causing me problems here. Come on, finish up. There we go. Get frozen. Man, you're also making glass? All these people are making glass out from under me. That hurts. That hurts a little bit, but I opened myself up to it. So that's just the way it works. Clark has a lot of debt and a low stock price. I'm gonna have to look into that. Look at this carbon price. That is insane. I think we need to do something about this as well. Potentially with some nukes and other, you know, little tools of the trade like that. Let's go ahead and get out of this glass. Don't really need it so much anymore. Might want to push for an Offworld just so I have it secured, but steel's super expensive right now, so that's a little on the risky side. We'll head to superconductor, as discussed earlier. And I'm thinking we'll move these into... I could move them into electronics. I could just move them into more power for the time being, because aluminum is just so garbage. Everything's working out just fine. Asimov very heavily into these engineering labs. Maybe I should have pushed into 2 as well, instead of just sitting on 1. Just a thought. I will upgrade chem production due to this, because frankly, he's going to be consuming a large amount of chems, and he has no chem production, so why not just start upgrading it? Yeah, silicon tile sounds nice. I mean, $120 right now for silicon. Yeah, I'll take that. Speaking of, we still have these pirates sitting here. Yeah, he can't even make electronics. That's fantastic. Who are we worried about? Herbert's HQ level 5. Asimov's got those engineering labs, though. But Asimov can very easily be purchased up, or at least forced to spend money into dealing with his debt situation. We're making money off of our power. That's awesome. Absolutely wonderful. I'm thinking when night comes, when these solar panels turn off because of nighttime, sure, we'll bid 24,000, whatever. Silicon's still good. This keeps other people from getting in the way of our silicon. Okay, fine, 28,000, fine, take it. Whoa, Asimov pushed HQ level 5. Maybe we worry about Asimov. If he's going to get to HQ level 5. He's moving into steel mills. We're going to move ourselves into steel mills in just a moment here. There we go. Steel, steel, steel. Ah, there would be a chem surplus. That is awful. Alright, let's go ahead and get this Offworld constructed and do what we can to grab a goon squad for it. There we go. Patent lab working away on superconductor for us. I'm feeling thinking machines after that. This chem thing sucks so much. And yeah, I feel like we're in a pretty good spot. Seriously, there's a surplus on silicon too. Silicon and chems right now. That's what you're doing. That's what you're going to do? Fine, whatever. I see how it is. It's all good. I don't hate that at all. Alright, let's get some glass made. There's some stock buying going on that I think I can get away with mostly ignoring. Would love to get into electronics production at some point, potentially. But for now, I think upgrading steel is the way to go. If these guys try and move into Offworlds, it's going to be expensive. Why would you do that again, man? I'm just trying to make some money off my power. That is so rude. There, that's what I think of you. I was talking about nuking this. I don't know if that's absolutely necessary, but it does sound like fun. Okay, Asimov bought up most of his own stock, so that's all just fine. Let's get this thing shipping. We were talking about shipping oxygen at some point. There we go. Let's get out of... No, we don't need to get out of food yet. We can think about it in the future before too long. Chem's still doing okay. Not as well as we were hoping for. I was going to steal something. I was going to steal silicon, and then that surplus came through. I was hoping somebody on the map somewhere would take carbon, because that would be nice to take over with these pirates. But it just hasn't happened yet. Alright, let's go ahead and make the transition. Oh, well, there you go. Last goon squad we're going to buy for that thing, because we're going to have thinking machines. And what do we want to do? Sell down some of these chems. There we go. We're going to have to turn those off in a moment here, unfortunately. and transition maybe into electronics production. Probably the best bet. Let's go ahead and take some nanotech, because nanotech is usually fairly strong in these longer, more drawn-out games, especially... There we go. Off-world shipments are launching. Let's get some more oxygen sent. And what else do we want to go ahead and do? Let's go ahead and upgrade oxygen again. I'm almost thinking it's time for, instead of all these solar panels, we can go into another engineering lab. Claim auction's nice. And how much cash is everybody sitting on? We've mostly been sitting in our corner, which seems to happen a lot more these days. We have the advantage where we're the only one pushing into an off-world. We're the only one who's successfully pushed into a patent lab and getting something done there. But there are engineering labs up elsewhere. There's decent electronics production available in a variety of places. So we'll need to keep an eye on all those things. We do have a lot of cash on hand right now, though. Sheesh. Okay. Well, I think we're fairly well set up here. I really wanted to get into improving this oxygen production. Oh, come on, I hit that button. Ah, whatever. We've gotten plenty of claims so far today. Yeah, I don't really know if I care much about carbon's price being higher right now. It's not causing me a problem. It's causing other people a problem. If they want to nuke him, they can go ahead and do that, but it's not an issue for me. Let's go ahead and grab a mutiny with our black market. Steel's starting to get less desirable, so I'm thinking carbon scrubbing so I can continue to do something like actually get into electronics production here. Seriously, no glass furnace here? What's going on with that? Whoa, Asimov! Well, tell you what. I'll go ahead and just take a purchase that I can get. And then we're going to have to worry about buying up our own stock at this point. Maybe this was not the correct order to do this in. Whoa, that was a big steel purchase. That was a big, dangerous steel purchase. I didn't think Asimov had that much cash, but I was totally wrong. What is going on with that? He has a lot of money on hand. I thought it was a lot more safe than that. Alright, well, that's my bad. I just reacted and got a purchase going that I saw. That was a terrible decision, obviously. Gonna need to secure my own stock very quickly. Let's go ahead and get on that. And then we're going to have to focus on trying to take down Asimov. This is what I get for buying a player. I always want to buy people, but it's almost always a terrible decision, as it turns out. Alright, well, yep. Finally the dynamite struck. These labs really need to be working away for me. Go ahead and upgrade oxygen, and then upgrade fuel. How are these doing? Yeah, I didn't actually want to use that mutiny, but I got scared, and so I just wanted to hit back in any way I could. Alright. Well, we'll buy up as much of Herbert as we can manage, because that's going to drive our stock price up. We have 2 claims left and a lot of production down. So let's take a look at what we can do with those. This glass absolutely does not need to be online. Let's go into some electronics. Oh, good. There's a glass shortage the moment I say that. Whatever. That's life, I guess. Steel's doing okay. I could commit to another off-world potentially because Steel is doing all right and have it make me some money. I'm tempted by it. Let's go ahead and do it with one of these extra claims. Just throw it down over there. I have thinking machines secured. Could go into slant drilling, could go into teleportation. Don't know if any of those things are actually helpful in any way, though. Let's go back into aluminum here. It's the fairly obvious play. We have a lot of power coming in. Steel's still going strong. We've upgraded that significantly. Mutiny hits us. We'll take it back. Not a big deal. Make sure it's sending, please. There we go. Alright, well, it hit us again. More and more mutinies. A lot of mutinies hitting us all of a sudden. Why are we getting hit? We're getting hit in the water pump. Water's fairly good, I suppose. We could go ahead and just do something real dumb and blow that one up. There we are. Now, Asimov is sitting on about 100,000 or so. He's not going to need a whole lot to finish this off, which is a bit of a concern. We could try and push to a Herbert buy. We could try and push to an Asimov buy. I'm tempted to go after more off-worlds here. I also should definitely pirate this water. There we are. Dynamite, again, this is what I get for building an off-world in the first place. These things aren't working anymore? Come on. Upgrade my water production then. Oh man, these aren't burning cash, I suppose. These aren't either, because we've upgraded so much, but that's the only reason at this point. The patent lab probably doesn't need to be a patent lab. What do we move it into, though? Maybe a hacker array? Try and make that work for us? Alright. Could go into another off-world. We have another claim. I'm very tempted to, actually, because steel, once again, is cheap. Maybe the wrong decision. We'll try and make it work. 326,000 out of the 670 or so that we need. Underground nuke? On what? On our water? We're scientific, man. Not sure I care. But if you want, I guess that's fine. Alright, thinking machines, do your work for me. These things are burning cash for sure at this point. Get those out of here. What do we move into? We move into some more chems, I think, for the time being. This is where the Offworlds hopefully start to play a major role. Let's also get out of all of these, go into some hefty water production, and make sure we are continuing to upgrade that. Heck, what do? We can not short water, because that's a lot of water production available for our opponents. We could just try an electronics hack and see if we can make that work. Keep sending the oxygen, please, and try not to die to Asimov. 506. We have enough to buy out Herbert if we want, but I don't think we super need to. I think with these off-world launches, we're going to be able to push on through and be okay. If we get Asimov purchased, then the game is over, right? Is the basic idea. As long as everything is still making money, we should be good here. Food is still fantastic. Steel, not so much. Let's get a little more food down. We've upgraded that significantly anyways. The glass is also actually going fairly strong right now. So those off-worlds, man. Once everybody's gone into labs and you've got off-world set up, like everything on-world turns super cheap. Give me that back before that send goes off. Nope, I didn't get it in time. So we actually got a nice big boost from that, unfortunately. Repair, because it's super cheap to repair anyways. Somebody else's electronic short going off. 702 is what we need now. That's just a couple more shipments. Don't I have 3 off-worlds down? Yeah, but one of them's broken, so that doesn't count. Alright, let's ship some, not fuel. I think oxygen is still the best. Make sure we've got enough of those going. Come on, work with me here. There we go. 706 out of the 810 we require. We forced him to pay down debt. It's exactly where we want to be. If he's paying down debt, he's not making money. So that's just fantastic for us. Time to move back into some more reactors. So let's get that done. Glass still going strong. Still fine. We could upgrade glass a bit now. Could upgrade food a bit now. And just paying down chems for that. Chems super cheap anyways, not a big deal. Underground nuke, not important. Let's get out of all these water pumps and into even more farms. Buy into the electronics short just a bit, not too much. 844, still not enough. He keeps pushing more and more and more with paying off debt, but unfortunately that is more of a short-term play than a long-term play, so it is not going to be enough, I think, to save his life. 929. You keep paying down your debt, I will keep just tearing on through with thinking machines. Make sure we keep repairing. Steel price is staying so low. Mostly because we are pumping out just enough steel to kind of keep these repairs going. Putting ourselves into a fairly good spot. I should have gotten into more glass production, quite clearly. I should have thought about the fact that I would be spending a lot of glass to repair these off-worlds, despite the thinking machine's scientific situation. Come on. 1 or 2 more shipments is going to clean this one up. We'll get Asimov. Herbert won't be able to do a thing after that because we're going to have all of our stock secured, and there's no way he could possibly outproduce us. Asimov trying hard this game, but buying out a player is just so darn useful. Come on, there's a shipment. I'm so tired of this goal line just moving barely enough. There it is. City taken on out of there. I mean, I could have bought out Herbert and stayed alive just fine, I think. Wouldn't have been a problem whatsoever since we were forcing those debt paydowns, but I don't know why these turned off. Why are these turned off? That didn't make any sense at all. Look how much money they're making me. That's ridiculous. No reason for those to be turned off when I acquired them. Unless my opponent had them turned off, but even then it's like, why wouldn't you just turn them back on for me? Alright. We're just waiting at this point. We're not quite there yet, but the off-worlds are going to carry us on through, no problem. Got a ridiculous amount of production available, and this game's completely over. Look at all this engineering we did. We're so good at engineering, guys. Should have done more glass, but that's fine. Not a big deal. Off-world markets. Now that people have shifted into engineering labs so much, and we see so many engineering labs go down, it's so easy to just throw down an off-world and go thinking machines when you're scientific. Alright. Indecision resigned. Totally understandable. We were about to kill him, but I don't know how long we were sitting on that actual kill value. So, it was probably a bad idea to go for the buyout, because it put us in a situation where we might have possibly lost when we went for the buyout. But that's fine. We still pulled it off. Buyouts are so good because they still raise your stock price so much these days that if you can get to a buyout, it's almost always a good decision. Which is different from the way the game was before, where you had to be really careful going for a buyout, or you might have just died. We bought a lot of steel that game, guys. But we sold so much food. Just nobody getting into that food market for a long, long time. That's pretty much what just easily carried us through the game. Without too much trouble, was all that food we were making. I don't even know, once again, what's going on in chat. Oh, man. Fairly straightforward win, guys. I was pleased with it. Let's check tech. We had 19. City had 12, despite the fact that he was on more engineering labs for longer, so that's maybe a bit of a misstep there. Couldn't identify stuff to engineer. I don't know. Just having some trouble. Herbert sitting on 9. A decent number, but these guys, I don't know if they were using their labs enough. Like, the labs were almost free at a certain point, because Kim's just got so cheap. Maybe a bit more, maybe needed a bit more commitment to the labs. Maybe they needed to go for Offworlds a bit faster, having identified the direction the game was going. Things like that, always important. Let's go ahead and get to another one.